both of them, and it's like, oh, don't worry, like literally, like I am perfectly okay with that. And then he just it's just one of those things where he just looks at you and goes, "What?" It's like, yeah, like that's perfectly fine by me. Like you do what you want, I guess. Is this Waterfall? Oh, thank you. And then there's also that shiny Zero Aura that we got from that event. I could definitely bring that over. That's pretty cool. I haven't missed one of the mightiest ones yet, which I'm actually kind of surprised. Because I kind of figured that I might have missed at least one of them, but I haven't, which is very cool. Very good. So far, the only thing I need to do is I need to finish my Violet. I think with Pokemon Home being introduced, it might give me more of the drive for it, but I don't know. Like I may just beat it on my own time, but because I have like two different Violet saves, I have one with I think a Fuecoco, and I have another one I think with the Water Starter. I'll figure out which one is which. I'll find out which one that I was training or the one that I was recording with, and I'll just beat the game with the other one. Although I will say though, between the two of them, between Scarlet and Violet, based off of like how you have to deal with the end of the game, like when you have to face the final boss kind of thing, I think Violet is harder. I find that Violet's a lot harder than Scarlet is, and that's a real crazy thing to think about. Because you think though that like because that you're dealing with robots kind of thing, it would be much easier because you can predict at least one of the types being like steel or electric because of the fact that they're robots. But no, they have better, like they're better than that, and it's terrifying to see that. Like when I was doing research after the fact to find out how close or how like tough the fight should have been, and then I found out that like if you had what was it? It was like if you had to face the final boss phase 2 kind of thing with, what was it? It was like a ghost type, I think, for Scarlet. If you were to face it with a ghost fire type, or with a ghost that is immune to fire, you win. The opponent can't touch you. And I was just like freaking out when I was reading that, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that's insane. The fact that you can do that, you can wall a boss based off of the fact that like you're using a type immunity and a second type immunity that is only based off of your ability. The only thing is that if the opponent can what's the wording for it, suppress, I think, the ability of your Pokemon, then yes, it would be able to defeat you. But that's the only way that it can actually beat you. It can't beat you in any other way, which was hilarious when I was reading it, and it was all Scarlet, and I was like, wow. And then when I was reading about Violets, I was like, I don't think you can wall Violets. I don't think. Can you wall Violets? I don't think so. I think I could just search up Miraidon, and it'll just show me where you can get it. And I think it'll just tell me what you... and I think it'll just give me the area. And I think I can just search it through the area. Bro, the shinies look awesome. Oh, that's cool. You can... It actually shows you the alternate forms on here. That's adorable. That's awesome. No, I don't want to use the map. I want to see the boss, please. Oh, the boss isn't here. Oh, right. Yeah, this doesn't show you that area. Stop doing that. It's annoying. Keep zooming in. I don't want that. I want to... I think it's this, right? Yeah, okay. Let's see here. Yeah, so if you had... what is it? The... Oh, I'm trying not to say the nicknames that I have for them and just actually say, like, the actual names of the Pokemon. If you have, what's its name? Soon as my brain catches up. Ceruledge or Armarouge. If you use them, pretty much the boss in Scarlet can't touch you. Because it has Giga Impact, which is a normal move. Oh, sorry. No, it is Ceruledge. Ceruledge or your starter technically will be immune to one of them. And the next move is Flamethrower, which you'll be immune because if you have the ability Flash Fire on the Ceruledge, you're immune to everything. So as soon as I read this, I'm like, bro, Captain Kidd can win. Like, literally, Captain Kidd could win. Like, it could literally just take on the boss. Just Swords Dance 3 times, and then just, you know, Psycho Cut, you win. Like, bro, like, I was so pissed when I saw that. And then they prevent you from actually using it, so it's fine. Yeah, I don't think you can do it with Miraidon. Yeah, you can't do it with Miraidon. Unfortunate. Nothing's immune to rock, which is a shame. Anyway, yeah, so like, but because like because the type diversity of Scarlets is much easier to deal with than the Violets. Like, I'm looking at Violets right now, and I am just trying to figure out a strategy that you can do with one Pokemon, let alone like with a team of Pokemon, let alone just one. But I think it's doable if you go with Fuecoco, though, for a majority of it. Because I think you can take 1, 2, 3 if you have the move, but it's so weak that it might not be a good idea. And if you're faster, maybe. So you might be able to take down 3, maybe 4. But then you have 2 that you have to contend with, that you have to figure out how to go with. One has your weakness, and the other one, you just have nothing to counter it. Because Fuecoco pretty much only has like 4 different type of moves. I think it's got a Fairy one, which is only 40 base power. It's got Ground. It's got Ghost. Actually, I didn't think of the Ghost, but that doesn't affect any of these. I mean, it's neutral on one. But unfortunately, you can't use its signature move to boost up your special attack to kind of help around with all the others. I mean, you can kind of grind off of this guy with it, maybe. Maybe? I don't know. Oh, if the Dawn Fan ones were in here, I think you can definitely boost off of them. Because I think the Dawn Fan, or what's the Iron Treads, I think, is a steel type, I think. So you could definitely boost off of that. But I think they didn't want you to boost off of it, though. But I'm trying to think of everything else, though. Yeah, you'd have to have a full team with this one. There's no other way about it. Because you need something that can deal with, like, 2 of them. Like, if you just go with Fuecoco, you can deal with about majority of the team. But it's the other members that you don't want to go with. Like, you don't want to just dive in with just one Pokemon, right? You want to dive in with multiple. But I think that... Ceruledge would still kind of help here, I think. Yeah, I think Surledge would kind of help here too, because it could wall one of them, and in case one of your, because in case you don't want to send out the Pokemon on another one, you can deal with one of them if you give it Psycho Cut. Actually, you can deal with two of them. Wait. I'm gonna count in my head with the different type of moves. Can it actually do anything? I mean, if you can survive, you might be able to outspeed it. Okay, let's see here. Psycho Cut, Shadow Claw, Psycho Cut. I'm gonna say Bitter Blade. Oh, we're walled. Never mind. You're walled at one of them because it's a rock type. And you might be able to out-compete it. Like, definitely Swords Dance first turn. Take any damage. It doesn't really matter, because then you're just going to Psycho Cut, Shadow Claw, and then Bitter Blade. Or Psycho Cut, doesn't really matter. Then Bitter Blade that one. Because I don't think they're going to send their best Pokemon out before. Because they're just going to keep it for last. So, Surledge definitely could help you out a lot if you don't have the starter. So if you don't have Fuecoco, just get Surledge. Surledge will definitely help you out. With the Water Starter... Yeah, the Water Starter could help out a lot too. So, if you haven't seen my Water Starter build, it's not terrible, and it does help around with this boss fight a little bit. The only thing is that, like, it's a water fighting, and I think that a lot of these things can counter that. So I don't think I would stay in with it, but it's just me. Yeah, I don't think I would stay in with it, though. I think I would switch out. But I'm trying to think of, like, of other Pokemon that could help you out. I mean, if you get one of the Tauroses, but I'm trying to figure out which one would be better. Is it the fire or is it the water one that would be helpful? I think the water one would be more beneficial. Obviously, if it has Intimidate, because I think, like... Because I think 4 of these are physical attackers, correct? 3 of them are physical attackers, sorry. 3 are physical, 3 are special. And I'm also surprised that the iron ones are not more bulkier by nature. Like, they don't have increased defenses because they're made of metal. Like, I think the only one that's bulky in nature, I think, is the Great Tusk one from Scarlet. Unless Bundle or Thorns is bulky in nature? I mean, is it bulky? Man, maybe, but Great Tusk is like 130 defense. Or base defense, so it's a lot better. And not to mention, though, that, like, I can also bring in Pokemon from my Scarlet over to Violet just to make it a much easier process. So, not that hard. Oh, Iron Thorns is in the same boat. Yeah, that's weird. That's strange. Yeah, the robot ones are, like, fragile, or more fragile than Pokemon that are of prehistoric age, which is interesting. But then again, they are robots, so I'm not surprised. But that is interesting. Huh. Oh, by the way, while I am talking right now about Scarlet and Violet, I still haven't EV trained Muddy. I've been putting it off because I barely play Scarlet anymore. I was waiting for Pokemon Home to be released before I start working on Muddy because I wanted to work on other things at the same time. Plus, I have to work on Pixelmon Adventures and my Oblivion mod at the same time. So it's like it's not that I'm so busy that I have no time to do anything. It's that I have so many ideas that I want to cram together, and then I find that I don't have time for them. And then EV training Muddy is just like, it's not high on the priority list, unfortunately. Which is sad, because I would love to have Muddy like fully EV trained to the way that I want it. I find that it works out very well for it, because it takes advantage of its bulkiness, plus it also takes advantage of it having high attack too. I mostly just want a Miraidon. I want a Miraidon. I want a Miraidon. Although I will say, though, that if there is ever a chance, alright, if there is ever a chance in which that I can actually convert my Scarlet save into a Violet save and be able to keep it on Violet only, I will do it in a heartbeat. Like, I think I said this before, maybe, but I'm not quite sure if I might have. Between the two of them, I like Miraidon as the bike of choice.